You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, now Facebook, YouTube, and also now our website, powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will bring the program come to you this Wednesday morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And my name is Mabel Kaba. Good morning. Well, today is Wednesday, the 31st day of January. We mark the last day of January 2024. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show, with theme in our education, also we can focus on the University of Sierra Leone, one new policy where we see them pull this BNTM for year one students. And also we go delve into the leadership struggle where we notice say they carry on day back and forth. We're going to look into all of the issues and the inside the program this morning.
Well, we continue with the program, the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. And as we tell you now, today we look proper one inside the University of Sierra Leone as them been pulled a policy notice. This BNT we say any students with the year one we get reference in order able for proceed go na year two. We're waiting prompt this policy and concern them where students themselves don't raise for sake of this policy and self activists then get concerned about this policy. All of that you go know inside the program this morning and self the leadership struggle where they now at the University of Sierra Leone. We go talk about all the issues then they. And this morning for if we look at this issue, we get the Director of Communications. We come out from the University of Sierra Leone. We have James Tamba-Leby with in the studio. Good morning, Mr. Leby, and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Kanija. Good morning, Mabel.
All right, now a pleasure for getting at the studio this morning.
Thank you very much.
As we don't tell we viewers them today, we they look proper one inside different issues them. We don't they happen at the University of Salone for some time now. We don't they see they get a back and forth because of leadership struggle, if I can say, waiting at the university right now. And as they speak now, people who don't follow this story don't know the way forward as to how we don't try for resolve between the Ministry of Tertiary Education and that of the university. But when they come to that issue there, let me start first with the one we get for do with the notice on a police BNTM where the deputy registrar sign, where they talk about student the year one, we get reference, not able for proceed for go year two. First, a lot of people go get confused, say, what to make una the leadership of the university decide for take this particular decision at this time?
Yes, so I put it into context. Over the years, we don't see that students that across the board, and when I say across the board, across the 3 constituent colleges of the University of Sierra Leone, they go as far as final year and then get reference for clear na year 1. And it don't make the situation very untidy. It don't plug up the situation. But also over the years, the same society and members of the public, they cry down the university about the quality of the products that they give out. So for address 2 things, quality control, the quality of the services and we product them, and for clear up the plug, the system don't so choke that we need for clear out. We put a juxtapose them with the number of people that already apply for coming to the university and the space we are available. So now 2 strategic objectives. Against that backdrop, the Senate of the University of Sierra Leone in March 2022 approve a policy we say enough for go year 2 to trailer. But I think then they distort the information. The information they say, they not say enough for go with if you get reference, you go out of the system. And they say enough for get more than 2 references. In other words, enough for fail more than 2 subjects. If you fail 1 subject, you fail 2 subjects, you get another chance for receipt. Now, when you don't pass them, then you go out of the system. So it's not automatic, like say, as you get reference, then they give you. And I think that's not the confusion. So, and this policy, in fact, commerce they ahead in terms of the implementation of this policy. And now for the college, and I say, effective this academic year, we are going to implement this policy. 1, for ensure, say, we get the best people in by the 10 and the graduates, we really know, say, these are better products. So it's quality control. 2, clear the system clog, it choke, the number of people that will apply far exceed the available space. There is a mismatch. And so because of them 2 strategic objectives, then the Senate decided for pull out that statement. So again, you know to go year 2 with a trailer. But then it means then they give you a second chance for receipt 1 or 2 modules. But when it exceeds 2 modules for the entire academic year, then you get for go out of the system. Because we believe, say, if you did maximum 6, because of 3 credit hours, between 5 and 6 modules, if you fail 3 modules, then you're really not supposed for in a university. 1 is acceptable, 2 is acceptable, they will give you a second chance. But above 3, above 2, 3 and above, they're not acceptable in a university.
But how sure una be say this particular policy go give una wait una for achieve we can quality control, clear the space, and what you be make mention of early? How sure una be? Also una see it work well, we make una say una want for do the same.
Well, it don't work well in commerce. And probably they will say insensitive to the other colleges, but the students of commerce are very focused. And over the years, me don't be students before I become be a teacher. I'm not just a PR director at the university, I also the teach in Afrobe College. We don't see lots of students then as soon as they go to university, then they become distracted by peer influence, distracted by club business, which is not bad, distracted by chilling, which is not bad. But when you make that your major at the university and you lose sight of what you go there for, you get a problem. So basically what they say, when you go to college, focus on what you go on. And when you focus, you're able to make them. So that's the situation. So we believe, say, if along the way, this policy get flaws, I'm sure Senate go revisit them. But we believe say this will help for less student and focus, this will help for give better products, and this will help for clear up the system we clog up. And by the way, Senate now the highest academic decision-making body of the University of Sierra Leone.
Mr. Levy, you continue to emphasize this particular policy we want to introduce now for every college.
Who don't introduce? Who don't introduce them?
For every college and IPAM, because you say commerce we don't do
yeah.
Go able for bring space because the system clog according to you. But somebody will say even before this system, una the university administration, now the enroll students them. Why una not go enroll students them? Would the university able for take rather than enroll students them where they make the system the clog? Una need for introduce a policy where, according to some students, this they're not satisfied and feel disadvantaged.
No, they don't. They cannot feel disadvantaged. Any student who says on a lazy student, if you go to university and you go for good study, you cannot. Any parent will mean well and wants equality service and wants equality product will not criticize the system. We they say we want to clean the system. Now, when you open the portal for application, you don't determine how many people apply. They apply. And at the end, out of that application, will they decide for choose the best. But here is a situation where the same society again, they put pressure on the university for take more than in capacity. Where you say we want, for example, in this faculty, we want 150. The members of the society go put pressure on you for taking them sister, for taking them Pekin, for taking them this, when I expand them. So many quarters. The university is under pressure for take more than capacity. That's the make. Left to the university alone, they will stick to the number. But the university, they serve the society. They serve and clients them. If them very people and put you under pressure back, you therefore bend backwards and accommodate some people. So that's the thing. But what they say, there are people who are holding up space. We need to go out because they keep on repeating, and hold on to the space. We are saying don't repeat. If you feel, say, you don't get capacity for Kana University, go incubate and come again. If they give one chance, you born them, you need to go out. When you get mature, you come back. You can always come back. But don't hold on to the space because year in, year out, the number of people where they apply for going to university, it exceeds the space.
So if we talk about numbers, Naya, and the one that we don't repeat now the university, how many on we don't count, we on think say yes, this number is so huge to an extent that this policy must be implemented over the years. How many don't they repeat? So
last academic year, in my own faculty, the Faculty of Communication, Media, Information Studies, we get diploma students in one class, about over 50 they repeat. 50. So that's just one program. That's under one faculty. So just imagine what's in the happen across the board. So and imagine for, let's say you want 100 students in year one or 150 in year one, then you get up to that number we repeat. It means then you hold the space for the one that we want come in. That's the make. And when they say if actually you deserve your results we apply with, because we shortlist your interview on the basis of the results where we take and say now you get them. And if now you get them before you can't defend them. So basically, now that a lot of people, a lot of students, we believe say in a carelessness and in a lost sight of waiting to go to university for. But as I say also again, they make sure say students then pull up their socks, focus, and by the time they graduate, they are better people for South society.
You know, think say now from the intake, una can make the mistake because if, for example, somebody they can at university and I don't put the requirements and where the person supposed forget, getting a huge number like what you make mention of, 50 people for one department, for example, they repeat. And I don't think says something they were missing where they cause down. They not to say like now full somebody go full to an extent. If they repeat one grade module all the time, if they get reference for one grade module.
Well, it's two way. The policy we put out is for students. Internally, mechanisms are being put into place for ensure say they're not disadvantaged students them. So for example, sending grades on time, submitting doing your assessment on time, and make sure say you You do what you're supposed to do as a lecturer. That's not internal arrangement, and the different registries then they work with the academic staff to ensure say students are not disadvantaged. Outside, that the policy will send, that is for the student for ensure, for tell them say, when you come to the university, you therefore major in your major and minor in your minor. If you go major in your minor and minor in your major, that's a problem.
So
and that's that point.
Then you get distracted.
Absolutely. You just go from the college, go by the cafe, and Monday to Friday, go see what in student and they do. We are not saying it's bad. There is nothing wrong in enjoying. There is nothing wrong in joining clubs. But when you allow that for distract you from which you go to university for a problem. I mean, you cannot fail more than 2 subjects, then you expect, say, them for you another time, another chance. If you fail 1, you fail 2, then they give you a second chance. Now, when you resit them and fail them back, then you go say space study. That's it.
Continue for the program. In case you just join me, this is the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. And today we dey look inside issues them we don't come out from the University of Sierra Leone. The first one we don't begin look inside now one new progress criteria where the University of Sierra Leone they try for where they don't introduce for Abbey College and IPAM we say students.
University of Sierra Leone. It's a university-wide policy, by the way.
All right, but you
the...
say commerce bid already start so.
Yeah, so it means now the other university and the catch up.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we continue the program. We still get James Tambalebi with we in the studio. We come out from the University of Sierra Leone and the Director of Communications. We there this morning, they talk about different issues that we get for the University of Sierra Leone. Members, you say for the watch we get the opportunity for the part of the conversation. Send we your message or your concern through the comment section at any of the platform them where they watch. We be it Facebook, YouTube, on our website. Don't forget for share the program so that more people will join the conversation this morning. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, we'll continue the discussion.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Mina Dr. Tonya Musa, Mina lecturer, communications and media experts. I dey watch the Liberty TV online and tell you say na the best platform for get credible, accurate and reliable information all the time. Make am you paddy so that you no go miss any opportunity for true information.
Hello everybody. My name is Phoebe Answell, broadcast journalist, actress and filmmaker. Liberty Online TV. I don't call it take it fine, but it's not just what it look like inside. It's the content when they bring to the public. I encourage we all subscribe to Liberty Online TV. Subscribe to them, page them on Facebook, on YouTube, all their social media platforms. And on YouTube, also click on the notification bell so that anytime we come online, it will help you follow what's in the week.
You are watching Liberty Online TV.
All right, welcome back. It's still a IBERTY Breakfast Show, and we still they talk about issues them where they arise from the University of Sierra Leone. We still focus on the policy where they introduce for year 1 students them, and we be done listen to James Tambalebi. We come out at the University of Sierra Leone. We all know say this are for students them we they na different campus them, and for sake of this, Liberty Online TV been go for sound the views of the students them where this particular policy get for affects when attending at the different campus them. Then we watch as Ramatu Kamara been go sound the view of some of the students them for knowing anything about this policy where the university administration don't introduce.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Liberty Online TV. Are they up right now at ABC College for cancelling the views of some students? Then we be say few weeks back the college will put one policy where we say the year 1 students them if they fail to module then they go sit reference, and if they sit that reference they go out of the college. Are those one students now for cancelling your opinion?
In relation to what they pull, we as a student like turn on the flesh because like for make them put something like that, so you got a reference and you go receipt, then after that, if you're not able to make them up, you don't leave the university. Considering now, I'll forget the money, and that's now a lot. So, now burden to parents them. So like, we as a student, we do not say like this is university, we need to give out the best. But like as a fresher, we never know, and we need to adapt to the system. And this I call it. So like within the following years, they're gonna do something like that. But now, for make them do something like this, we don't know nothing about college of doing things. So like I will plead to them, even if they're left first for this year, so that we will get addicted and adapt to this college of doing things. That might be the best. They are big. Because like right now, it's a burden for our parents. Because the fees, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. So we beg to the administration, we beg to really beg. Now that they know what to say. We beg. As for me, like, it's not really easy for them at university and all. And we pay beaucoup money for come to university. Imagine picking get 2 reference and them fail and then drive them. That stuff then they not fine. And it will make the become really frustrating. Because for kind of college, it's not easy. They will pay beaucoup money. As for the freshmen, they may just like easy way till we get used to the system and start forgiving other principles them and all. Because not really for them at university. Actually, the decision we didn't take and not too important, and not fine. Because look, this hurting to the students of itself. Because one, it make that word we don't talk. It make one the students they lack, more especially some students and they're weak in mind. So it is just like a 30 remarks we don't give. Say you fail, you go, no repeat. But other colleges then that's not a happen. But why if it happen? Now for the college here. And more again, the money where we people and pay for we for Canada's university, it's too much, and then they force me for pay the money. There are some people, if you don't pay completely, then they allow you to attend. Then they drive, and also even the orientation, and they only day for people who pay completely. Then what about they want them now we not pay completely? So now of course the discouragement they don't start. Now then for good chance, because we all not equal in mindset. There are some people then come for do a particular course, but due to some certain reasons, they lead them to bucketing failure. So it's like we never get chance, that opportunity, just like how other colleges and they do. But in the case where you fail one grade 10 and drive you, now what if now that person now only one good chance he gets? He only gets one good chance, then such happen. But meaning the downfall of that person not due to waiting for a big college, then waiting and then say. So if that person go down, now for a big college then cause for let that person go down. Because we all here, I can say now volunteer, people they volunteer for pay for we, especially me. You see, now my sister pay for me. So like, I can put me in that category, say I just get one chance. So what if not that chance they poor? Astagfirullah happens for can't fail. Astagfirullah. Then automatically, me own book done. Because I never forget no other person again for pay for me. So, me to beg them that let them reverse their statements. And it's too harsh. Well, about the with and against the policy day. At first, let's start with why are they with them? Because some people where they can not know they can so for. Why I don't put this policy so they urge people for study. Because document they don't pay back money. You know, go far away can also you can't fail. Then the money we people don't pay outside and go get you know now then suffer for their money there. You don't can put out into waste. So I got it with that policy there. But the second one I got it with now because if you feel not so all man can catch up fast like some other people there. Some people and then go ahead to study like this one so they study over and over and over again like me an example. Graphics. And they study over and over again but not so outside they will catch up at once. So like We don't do all that day. You know, so they don't meet up to the requirement. You go pass some years, but go get MT there, E. Now you pass the mark that day. But at the same time, they say I fail. And when you fail, they say they get you. Now they not call so, now they bad.
All right, welcome back. That's our views of students them na FBC. We've been talking to Ramatu Kamara, and as soon as been see and hearing from that particular video day, we've been blowing distort the voice because the students them be request for them protection regarding the comments them where they make for sake of the policy where the University of Sierra Leone introduced for them.
All right, we continue with the program. We're at the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV, now both Facebook, YouTube, and also on our website. Well, if you don't follow this issue and you want for make you comments this morning, send we text message on 074-200-545, or you can as well send you message through the comment section na any of the platform them where they watch we. Well, from them concern then they what we get from first year students them na Frabe College, where they say this particular policy go affect their education. One other person will be on the right and comment about this particular policy from the term where this notice come out from the University of Sierra Leone. Now one lecturer and also a social commentator where na a lecturer na Frabe College, a name na Shekuputka Kamara. NCF Day with we in the studio this morning. Good morning, Mr. Kamara, and welcome to the breakfast show.
Many thanks, Khadija. Glad for there.
All right, as I just don't tell viewers them, you know one person where we don't follow this particular policy and you don't make a comment on that, and also you know lecturer na Frabe College where this one of the university there with this particular policy then go for begin introduce some. Firstly, waiting na your opinion on this particular policy.
Okay, thank you again. Just so I make a few things clearer, I am in the capacity of a journalist. I don't want to speak as a lecturer of the University of Sierra Leone or a lecturer of Frabe College. So like you rightly say, the moment the university issue out a notice regarding this receipt exam, students, the way they fill them twice, they go drop them at the university. I be get an opinion piece where I put out. Mark you, I also edit the Expo Times newspaper. So I be on a commentary. Where in my own argument, I was thinking that the decision is kind of questioning the right to education for several people. And my argument was that no matter how you look at it, we have weaker students. And if you introduce a policy for, say, with a student fail a module one term, a city reference, they fail that module, they drop them out of the system. I am like, we have not created a room for a solid foundation, especially for the weaker students. And in my argument again, I make a case that this is not to suggest that we are to create room for every weak student. But when you have a system outside the foundation really strong, my thinking is that you want to encourage students. And no matter how you look at it, failure is made for students. That is not to suggest that every student is expected to fail, but not then get for fail. You cannot teach students and then you expect everybody to be an excellent student. That is not the case. And I even do a narration say, if some of we when a lecturer then today at the university, for example, being faced some of the issues, then the chances are it is possible that we might not even be lecturers today. So my thinking is, why should they create a system where they get a number of students, try for introduce a policy where they get, if you want to ask me, very solid students. So for example, I would only draw reference to the communication department. We get a general entrance exam, for example. We know one for know you get in English language at WASC level. You have to pass the diagnostic exam, which is not the case for other areas. Even the one in the way they pass that exam, some of them still they fail. So my thinking is, if the foundation really is solid, you want to create an opportunity for everybody for thrive. But the moment you say you fail once, take a receipt, you fail again, and then you're out of the system, I am thinking that there's a possibility that we're going to drive out a lot of people in the system because one, most of them are coming in almost blank or zero without having little or no knowledge about the university operations or policies. And so when you have them in the system and you put that policy there, my thinking is that you're going to have a lot of them constrained with that policy.
According to JT earlier, before you joined me at the studio, where they give some of the reasons them we make the University of Sierra Leone take this particular decision. One is say they want for clean up the system clog. We bring the question that owner and the university leadership now they open entrance. Some man they take entrance exam just like how you say. Now they take the number owner feel say the university able for carry and ensure say owner provide for them the conducive environment for go land. And this particular criteria now a way according to GT for cleanse the system. You agree with that?
Yeah, I hold a different view because perhaps we don't clean the system even before we get them at the system. But the moment they don't come now, mark you, we are talking about a very challenging economy. Students paying 6,000, 7,000 leones, 8,000 or even more for a program from certificate, diploma to degree. I mean, my argument is you get there for fail. Not to everybody they come up from secondary school, you expect them to be a fantastic student. Even the one they win a fantastic student get challenges. So, outside that challenge they come now, you say they fail one, they receipt they fail, they are out of the system. That is my concern, and I think saying an issue will get for affect a lot of them. That's my opinion.
But what about the comments where Mr. Levy make regarding students them we know say then they go on a different campus here for a focus for go learn, but not sooner than get there, then they get distracted with several activities we not get nothing for do with the academic pursuit where they go there for.
So I think the systems have allowed some of those things, and I'll tell you why. Most of we studying at the University of Sierra Leone, if you ask some of we don't know nothing but extracurricular activities aside from perhaps with student association who are Muslim or Christians joining those religious sects. Now, I hold the view that all of them get the rights to freedom of association, which is not a problem for me. But normally we say major your majors. You get people that will join some of those activities where still they do very well in the university, whilst others go use that as a conduit for saying, this stomach will not do well. I am not too particular about what students are involved in. When you look at the academic, calendar or circle, no matter how you look at it, like I tell you, you get students that will not be involved in anything, they still have challenges in their academic works. You get others who are involved in the same things, still they do well. So to me, it's about a particular affirmative. Whilst you're going to have some students who will do very well, no matter how you look at it, we still don't forget students that will not get to do very well. So when you have a policy that questions the rights for students that for them at the university because they don't fail a module and you sit and fail them, that is my concern, and I think it could be a situation also we want to do this general policy of an entrance in the best interest of all man. That way there is a solid foundation for all and sundry.
The policy for entrance exam already they exist at the University of Sierra Leone.
For some departments.
For some departments. Yeah. With this one now, you think that a burden on the student then?
My thinking is perhaps we may want to generalize the entrance policy. There was a proposal for let me generalize them. It did not come to fruition. Now that we have this policy for the University of Sierra Leone, my thinking is it is also necessary that we get a general entrance policy. Because mark you, there are opinions about people that will hold the view, say people and they get WASC results where perhaps not credible, people that get WASC results where perhaps they're not able to defend. If you get them people that did at the university, in a different system, year one, diploma one, certificate one, for example, will get an understanding of what is happening. My thinking is they are going to have challenges. If they fail a module, sometimes it not will even be their own fault because they are new students. When you get that policy, that's like saying this is a system that allows bravery and not weaker students. That is the focus of my argument.
So even though they talk here as a lecturer, but as a journalist, but from your experience, you don't interact with hundreds of them students here where this policy can affect at the end of the day. You don't really agree say the quality control aspect of will be fixed with this policy?
That is one of my arguments, and the angle is this. If you're talking quality control on the side of the university, I think that is a standard approach. Because every university wants to maintain quality control. But when you look at the manner in which they want to bring this quality control, mark you, we get over 4,000 students away from the college alone. Take for year one, for example, as freshmen. If you're going to have those numbers, and clearly we do not have the facilities to encourage all of those students, for example, when you say you they drop them now because they don't fail modules, one, I think we, when a lecturer, for example, know the constraints where they whilst we're not here to talk about that, if you create a policy now for say, because you don't fail one module, you sit and you fail, you're going to be thrown out of the university. That is a concern where I think, say, from the word go, let's have a quality entrance exam, for example. Who that not pass, like I say, that person is not accepted in the university. Right. That's what you have as a standard policy for other departments. So if we generalize them, my thinking is perhaps we may limit the argument in some of these discussions.
All right. Yes, in case you just tune in, the breakfast show they continue, and today we look at two critical issues them from the University of Salone. The first one, now the policy where they say for begin this year for first year students them, anybody will get reference not able for proceed for go year 2. We continue the program and we still get two people between at the studio. We get the PRO for the University of Salone and also get a social commentator who is a lecturer at IBERTY College and hold a different view as to this policy. Well, they can move on now to the issue, the leadership issue.
I really want to respond.
All right, go ahead.
My colleague bring out. So this is a situation of the university finding itself in a situation where you do, you are damned, you don't, you are damned. Now, talking about entrance exam, yes, as part of the entry requirement, the Faculty of Communication, 2 departments of the Faculty of Communication then get them from the inception. Now, the last term when the university introduced the entrance exam, it was met with a hue and cry, the resistance, the criticism. In fact, they even want to take the university in a court. Then they say the entry requirements where the university put out and what is approved is that of having your WAS entry. So if the university they can now and say you go for seat exams, it means then in an illegal measure. They threatened to take the university to court for that. People were so even some people highly placed in society call and grumble to the administration that this is not called for. Now we'll remove them again, then they still criticize the university, say, if I put them. So where do we stand? And we are responding to the university system. I mean the concerns of the clients, the society. By the way, we don't expect this policy to be popular, especially among students. However, any parents we mean well for quality education if we support this policy. And the second thing, the other thing we will need to realize is not everybody, university education is not for everybody. Basic education is for everybody. But when you say you want to go to university, you must be prepared. Financially, you must be prepared up there rigorously if you're able to withstand the rigors of university academic work. But you have people who are not ready, then go to university, they want to go hold space, waste people and time, and then they say no. With the university, they say no, we cannot continue to condone that because they clog the system, and at the end of the day, when they put out products, them we're not fit for purpose. And the university under that criticism over the years. And when we try to address that again, there is criticism.
So is it a pressure from the public?
There is let me tell you, when people apply, when the university draw a line, say, for this faculty, now this will they take. If you see the pressure where they come on deans of faculties, on heads of departments, on the deputy registrars of the different campuses, on the deputy vice chancellors, for let them bend backwards and add more people. This is the pressure. So in America say you do, you are damned, you don't, you are damned. But we believe say this is the way forward. If you want to go university, you must be prepared. Financially, you must be prepared academically. And if you're able to prove your mettle. But when you go, you become distracted. We get students, they don't really go to class. In fact, go to orientation. By the time they say the first opening ceremony done, the place don't become empty. They not even listen when they explain to them the different policies. It's like then go there, then they on. Now social business, which is not bad, but that should not be your primary focus at the university. So yes, we will left to the university, we will for conduct these exams in addition to the entry requirement. But the same society back, they condemn the university, say that is not part of the entry requirement. Now, una don't can add and therefore, una they lock the gates for we picking them for Kamna University. So these are some of the variables that we need to consider also.
All right, we continue with the breakfast show, and now we move on to one issue we don't they happen from the University of Salone for long term now. We don't bring plenty debate and a standoff at the University of Salone. Also, then they get a leadership struggle now. Well, from where this issue begin to now, we senior producer Abdullah Blah don't they follow on this issue and don't they investigate waiting as some of the things them way happen we make the University of Salone they get leadership struggle, and Seth will go talk to JT Leby inside the program as he will explain to we and take we through the different stage them as to when they reach here. And also we go talk to the Secretary General for the Academic Staff Association, na College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, where na Dr. Isaac Olufemi Small. Himself go join we na the studio this morning as he go give we their own position as a staff them. But before we can look inside this issue proper one, let we watch the report where we senior producer Abdullah Blah been compiled. Also, it talks to different people them and bring out some of the issues them will lead to this particular saga at the University of Salone.
One press release from the University of Salone Thursday, January 25, 2024, don't say the University of Salone court, when at the highest decision-making body at the university, they maintain the decision where the court itself make for pick pro vice chancellor for the university in the person of Professor Mohammed Samai, when at the deputy vice chancellor of College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, COMAS. And the court said this day in line with Section 8 and 9 of the University of Salone Act of 2021. Section 9 of the University of Salone Act of 2021, we more relevant to this argument, say the University of Salone forget pro vice chancellor and at the University of Salone court for Picam from among the 3 deputy vice chancellor them and the college them at the University of Salone. But as all this they be, the Parliamentary Committee on Technical and Higher Education been just on agree for one decision where the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education been take this BNTM for pick Professor Lawrence Kamara as acting vice chancellor after where the vice chancellor Professor Fodisa been get other political appointments. According to one press release from the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, the University of Salone court will get the power for pick pro vice chancellor for replace them with the vice chancellor in a situation them like this, not been do in work as the law say. According to the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, the University of Salone courts pick pro vice chancellor based on understanding of rotation from one deputy vice chancellor to the other and the 3 college them inside the university. And according to the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, they're not they in line with this understanding of rotation where the University of Salone don't they do. So the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education been go ahead for pick Professor Lawrence Kamara for be the acting vice chancellor because they believe say vacancy in at the university, but the University of Salone not think so.
There is no vacancy, but even if there is a vacancy, the act very clear that now the courts, the university courts and the chairman now then get the power for appoint, not the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. It's very clear in sections 8 and 9. Let anybody go read them. 2, the argument that the pro vice chancellor is not properly seated, then counter them by saying there has been a tradition where the position they rotate among the deputy vice chancellor in line with the act. The act say only one of the 3 campuses, the head of the 3 campuses, can be head pro vice chancellor at a time. In fact, the one where they don't appoint so now by the ministry, they don't act as pro vice chancellor once. And under that same arrangement, and there was no hue and cry. Be that as it may, now the courts they say, well, they can't right the wrong. So on the 16th, they formally appoint Professor Mohammed Samai, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of COMAS, as the Pro Vice Chancellor, and by extension, the acting Vice Chancellor and Principal.
This make on the 16th of January 2024, the Parliamentary Committee on Technical and Higher Education been look inside this matter and them agree say the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education been right for pick Professor Lawrence Kamara as acting Vice Chancellor, and that the rotational understanding with the University of Salone been done do for agree for Professor Muhammad Samai as Pro Vice Chancellor not correct.
Professor Lawrence Kamara was appointed to work independently, so it is on that note he was appointed. And we summoned them to listen to them, to ask what is happening. And they had the opportunity, the Dr. Kuruma, who is the Chancellor, we listened to him, and his Deputy Chancellor, Engineer, was also listened to, and the Registrar was also, Madam Olive was also listened to, and as to what has happened. And they never disclosed anything. And they were summoned yesterday, and they came today. And for us to continue, and that Professor Lawrence Kamara act in that capacity has earlier stated in the letter dated 11th December 2023 to 11th of June 2024.
Although the Parliamentary Committee on Technical and Higher Education don't say they not agree for the rotational agreement of the University of Salone, where it come to for pick Pro Vice Chancellor, the press release from the University of Salone say the University of Salone Court approved the rotational agreement for pick Pro Vice Chancellor and the University of Salone from among the Deputy Vice Chancellor them.
One, the courts, they say the ministry not get the power as per law for appoint somebody for take that position. But more importantly, the person where the ministry appoints is also not eligible for occupy the position, because the law they say if I come from one of the heads of the 3 campuses. But this man na a lecturer. He don't cease for perform an administrative position because he don't reach the age of retirement for whole administrative position. But he can still teach na academic staff. Therefore, he not eligible. 1, because of age. 2, because now a violation of the law. He is not a sitting deputy vice chancellor. So the court rejects the position of the ministry on that basis then they.
You go on for ask how this go left the University of Salone and the Parliament of Salone, we don't pull chest for support the Minister of Technical and Higher Education for do waiting not there inside the University of Salone Act of 2021, but just want use political power for achieve them goal for steady the situation, how them want them. As we talk now, it clear say the University of Salone and the Parliamentary Committee on Technical and Higher Education and then 2 don't wear foot na 1 to 6 because it look like say the University of Salone ready for put them foot down and resist any threatening from the Parliamentary Committee on Technical and Higher Education, and not for grief for the person where the Minister of Technical and Higher Education don't pick by force for be acting Vice Chancellor. The public in Yai now don't open like mountain fat foot for know the next step of the Committee on Technical and Higher Education at the Salone Parliament, as it clear say now the University of Salone not agree for them this term for do it in the university, not believe say rights or they according to the law. For Salone Parliament, Mina Abdullah Black.
All right, welcome back. Well, that's a report where we just watch Abdullah Blah and put that report together for Sika, the saga where they now the leadership of the University of Sierra Leone. Well, when they come over to you again, James Tambalebi, although you make some comments in that particular report today, but I believe say the viewers themselves go on for we delve more into that particular issue there, because now in way they can look at now this segment of the program. But just start for tell them how the University of Sierra Leone reach the stage where they so now outside on the face leadership struggle. The ministry they say one thing, the university called they say another. How na reach under?
So and it starts with this statement that the heart of this controversy now the rule of law versus sentiments. And the university court is on the side of the law and they uphold the rule of law. And the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and other one support the other TEC and Parliament where they support them, they are driven by sentiment. But let's give proper context to this whole thing. You know, we an act of parliament now establish and govern universities. So we get the Universities Act of 2005, where they nominally amend along the way, minor amendments them till 2018, but me still they refer to as the Universities Act of 2005. And then before the elections of 2018, the candidate of the SLPP, now President Madabio, campaigned on one promise, that it would depoliticize the running of public universities. And to that end, it would separate the position of the presidency and that of the chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone. And when he win, and true to his word, he go on for implement that campaign promise. So he separates the president or presidency from the position of the chancellor. And for let that happen, a new law come into existence, what they call, in fact, then repeal and replace the 2005 Act with the 2021 Universities Act. Now, in that act, there is a major paradigm shift. Now, the paradigm shift is that the President of the Republic is no longer the Chancellor of public universities. The President appoints chancellors for all public universities, and he transfers most of his powers them to then Chancellor and the courts. Now, in the new law, the President remains as the visitor. Now, what we know the happen is, under that old law, the supervisory ministry, when a Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, now then been done the take decisions on behalf of the chief executive, when are the president. So the powers the way the president may get, the ministry they exercise them. What has happened is that under this new law, the ministry they refuse for change and approach and recognize say there is a new law. We don't take them powers them away from the president and don't give to the chancellors of the university. And some of them powers here, one of them, now the power to appoint the vice chancellor and principal of the university, and the power to appoint the pro-chancellor. In fact, under the old law, we been get a position called the pro-chancellor. The pro-chancellor, I mean, they represent, I mean, the head of courts, and I mean, they represent the president in court meetings. Now, in this new law, the chancellor will no longer be a politician, now the chairman of courts, and I get power for appointments because the president don't transfer them powers them to them. Now, waiting happen then be entire. Now that the ministry they attempt for exercise powers will not get. And the university courts they say no, it is not your business to exercise those powers because those powers have been transferred to the chancellors appointed by the presidents. That's the crux of the matter. So that's the background. Now let's come to the sequence of events or the chronology of events. On the 11th December 2023, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education writes for appoint a former Deputy Vice Chancellor, we now Professor Lawrence Kamara, is former DVC of Ruby College, as acting Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Sierra Leone. On the 18th of December 2023, the court meets for look into that action and then decide say, then go put together a team for go engage the MTHE, the Ministry of Technical and Education, with a view for persuade them say they no longer can execute those powers because the law don't change. On the 16th January, court meet again, emergency meeting, and come with a report. The report out where they meet with the ministry. And the report was that when they meet with the ministry said they know they change their position, and in fact they write a letter stating their positions with two arguments. Argument one, then say by the appointment of Professor Fodesa, a vacuum has been created. Therefore, they appoint the Vice Chancellor, they appoint Professor Lawrence Kamara for fill that vacancy. Argument two, then say Professor Mohamed Samai, when they recognized and approved pro-Vice Chancellor and the sitting Deputy Vice Chancellor of Commerce, then say are not legally seated because they not see any records where they point to that. So because of them two arguments and they then believe say then get rights as the supervisory ministry for appoint Professor Lawrence Kamara. But the counter argument of the court is that one, the law very clear, there is automatic succession. that once this head of the university don't move, the law make very clean and smooth for let somebody else take over them. And that's the section 9 of the act. We say there should be a pro-vice chancellor who will be appointed from among the sitting deputy vice chancellors of Frobe College or Commerce or IPAM for to hold that position there. And once the VC no day, whether he go patrol, he go on leave, or he move away, the pro-vice chancellor, now in the acts na that position there, until them put together a search committee. The search committee will be put together by the university courts and the TEC for let them look for a substantive holder of that position. So this pro-vice chancellor now like a caretaker, not just an interim arrangement. Now we they say the ministry, one, even if we agree with an argument say there was a vacancy, the law not give them power for fill the vacancy. Because the law give power, go check the act, the provisions of the act, the power for appointment now the chairman of courts, and the chairman of court now the chancellor. 2, the person where they appoint for fill the vacancy is not eligible because the law say now only a sitting deputy vice chancellor for hold that position day of a pro vice chancellor, and by extension when the need arise, it go act as vice chancellor, acting vice chancellor and principal. So 1, they don't get the power for fill the vacancy. 2, the person where they appoint, as I say in that program, that clip, is not eligible. So on the basis of that, the court is of the opinion that their position is underpinned by law, and whilst that position of the ministry is underpinned by sentiment. And to come back to that second argument, that the deputy vice chancellor, the pro vice chancellor was not properly seated, there is, or there was, an administrative arrangement wherein a rotational among the different campuses. It be done in Frobe College for start, seconded by Commerce, and then it go to IPAM. Frobe College been don't exercise that position there, and incidentally or coincidentally, the person who exercise or enjoy that position now in the ministry appoints to. When Professor Lawrence Kamara was head of Frobe College, he was the pro vice chancellor, and in a couple of occasions, he don't act as acting vice chancellor, he don't serve as acting vice chancellor under that agreement there. Now, the interesting thing is that in the court, the MTH get representatives. Then they not raise an issue that Professor Lawrence Kamara is not properly seated under that same arrangement. Why now then we can raise the same argument or the same objection, say Professor Mohamed Samai, when in turn for be pro vice chancellor, and doing in time now there is a vacancy for lay occupant tentatively until courts puts together and TEC put together a search committee. Why not they can't raise the eyebrows? But in addition to that, we also say the role of the ministry is to advise. So even if there is a flaw there, their responsibility should have been to advise the court for right the wrong. Be that as it may, the courts don't meet and right that wrongly. So where there is no hidden agenda, all what the ministry should have done is to point to that flaw so that they right the wrong. But to occupy that space, to fill that vacancy, the law not give the ministry that power there.
JT, you don't explain all the different arguments them and how una arrive at this particular position una dey now when a leadership struggle from the University of Salone. But somebody go dey ask the question, say, how a whole University of Salone, we're full of professors, people them, we really get the master sabi knowledge, go just sit down and get gentleman's agreement, so that this rotational agreement, we don't bring the problem, so we not ever try for document them.
Yes, that's we can say on mistakes, but also law permits for a practice we don't happen over a period of time for be legal. If now once it happen, they go say no, not recognize them. But if it don't happen over a period of time, it's a practice. Other people don't enjoy them. Evidence don't they say they don't serve. And an interesting thing is this: when you serve as pro vice chancellor, you are the alternate A signatory to the university accounts. So there are formal undertakings that you do with the left track record for sure say you don't serve in that capacity. So if you don't serve anything and it don't happen to 1, 2, 3 people, a pattern don't be established, it's accepted in law. It become legal. But also, let's say we make mistake. Now, the job of the university the ministry is to advise the court, say, this person is not properly seated because they get that advisory role. If they're not nothing up them sleeve, all they can do is to point out to that flaw that this is not good. Una regularize them. But to say because there is a vacancy, therefore go fill the vacancy for una, that's another agenda.
All right, let's continue for the between the program.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you shortly. James Tambalebi from the University of Sierra Leone. Well, we still continue to look at this issue for sake of the leadership struggle now the University of Sierra Leone currently, and we go on the line. Osai.
Quickly before we go on the line, Mabel, just a disclaimer for everyone that know say the same way we put senior producer Abdullah Blah, but they put together the report, it try for reach on to the Ministry of Tertiary and Higher Education, forget their own side in all of this argument, but unfortunately the Ministry of Tertiary and Higher Education not be make themselves available for comment on this particular issue. So we say go ahead and bring the relevant authority them. We're ready for talk as we discuss this issue proper one at the studio this morning.
All right, so we continue the discussion and we go on the line now. Also, we go here for resolutions them from the Academic Staff Association and our College of Medicine and Allied Health Science. As we get on the line, the Secretary General for the Academic Staff Association at the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, we now Dr. Isaac Olufemi Small, we now the Secretary General. We see they don't get a 6-point resolution for this issue. Good morning and welcome to the Liberty Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, good friend, Jason Levy.
Let's go straight to the point. We see a 6-point resolution we come out from UNA. Just share with the viewers them, UNA resolution them, how UNA reach the.
Just how I'll explain clearly the issues around leadership and the academic staff of the College of Medicine and Allied Sciences meet on Monday, 29th January 2024, and in that meeting we come out with the following resolutions. The first is that we want for the people of Sierra Leone, say we don't follow with keen interest the issues around the appointment of an acting Vice Chancellor and Principal of University of Sierra Leone by the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, where they completely outside the provisions of the University Act of 2021. As Mr. Khaled clearly outlined, the goals of ministry knowledge the area of appointment Vice Chancellor. In fact, the Act not make provision for such provision because there's a clear line of succession where vacancies exist in the university if the Vice Chancellor and Principal not on seats. So when we had all the communications we received from various parties, the membership of ASA Commerce applaud the position of the for uphold rule of law, because this issue, as clearly outlined, is a battle between the rule of law and sentiment. So we strongly applaud the decision of the University Court for ensuring that the rule of law be maintained. And then also the membership of ASA Commerce welcome the ratification and appointment of the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Commerce as Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone. And of course, I congratulate them on that. And then we also are aware that there are various bodies we involved in the resolution of this matter. And some of these bodies, we know say there are attempts by some of them for undermine, as Jetlebi explained, the laws that govern the University of Sierra Leone. And so we make it clear that we not happy with such efforts by these statutory institutions, and we frown significantly at their efforts today. And also we strongly condemn the efforts. And finally, we make them very clear as academics in the health sector, all right, working with the university, that we believe, say, the rule of law for stand, and we will go the extra mile, we will make efforts for ensure, say, the provisions of the Universities Act of 2021 on the leadership matter of the University of Sierra Leone be followed, and that any provision, any decision that is made outside that provision, we not go accept them and we will resist them significantly. So these are our resolutions as our commerce, as the constituent of.
So, Dr. Small, how you go separate the resolutions here where una don't reach at from the fact, say, Dr. Samai na una own breed? How on a resolution them you go pull them from that fact they say na una own breed?
I believe, say, history will judge me very well that they have always been collaborating with the other members of the university when it comes to the rule of law. We want to make it very clear that these resolutions are made outside the space of sentiment. If now IPAM, the DVC of IPAM, this be happen to, or the DVC of Rabi College, now it be happen to, we probably take the same position. We not for be turn a blind eye, because as medical intellectuals, we believe, say, progress can only be made in this country if the rule of law is maintained. And so these resolutions have nothing to do with the fact, say, now we own deputy vice chancellor, they don't appoint as pro-vice chancellor. It has to do with the position of College of Medicine as part of the academic staff of the University of Sierra Leone. So I will repeat again, if now the DVC of IPAM 9 points as pro-vice chancellor and they go through this kind of challenges, we will stand by them. If now the DVC of Rabi College, we will stand by them. In essence, we are standing by the rule of law and not by an individual.
According to waiting on a right, on they help the university court for pursue the rule of law. And when you look at how this issue they go now, Parliament don't clearly take a position. Say the Ministry of Tertiary Education get right for appoint the person way for act in that capacity. Don't have Professor Lawrence Camara, and the university self say they don't put their foot down. Una self don't join the university then decision. Waiting at the fastest way now, where una think as academic staff association for resolve this leadership struggle on the experience?
I just want to say, aside the fact that we are lecturers, we are Sierra Leoneans. And I strongly believe in the leadership of the President, Brigadier General Dr. Julius Marabio. And I have been in all the procedures of government, and waiting this government stand by is the rule of law. I want to remind we all that the Universities Act of 2021 was debated by one of the most diverse parliaments in Sierra Leone, in which you had 4 different political parties, including other independent candidates in the parliament. All right. So we not expect, say, a parliament will ask the people of Sierra Leone for let we disobey the law, we then self-debate and pass. I believe, say, the best way for resolve this matter is for Parliament for look at the facts, say, now then make the law, and then give it the law for law we implement them. So in essence, they should be the ones to stand by the law. They should not be the ones to ask us to disobey the law. So we strongly ask that Parliament go back and look at imposition and try as best as possible for take the side of the rule of law. These are documented I mean, we colleagues that win our lawyers, then they go get debates on this issue. But at the end of the day, waiting will stand is the rule of law. The law is documented, it is very clear. If there are challenges, these are not challenges that have significantly affected the implementation of the law. But for appoint somebody outside the scope of the law, that will not be accepted by our own membership. And that's what we foresee.
Of tertiary education. Now, somebody will come out from the university, and I believe say it affair with some of them laws there, so where una they try for protect. And now it don't go ahead and appoint somebody where according to una and that of the university is not eligible for serve na this position. As a former colleague of una we come on at the university and get this appointment, una feel disappointed by indecision for try for bend the law?
Well, to be very clear, I am a capitalistic individual. I mean, because the lesser is coming from tertiary education. All right. So what we are saying here is for us to follow the law. I mean, I believe say the minister is a well-read individual. I mean, well-educated, and I believe say when he reads any documents, the content of that document say is well understood by her. So I expect that he will use that quality where he gets, let he interprets the law correctly and let he act in line with law and provisions of the Universities Act of 2021.
Association for Commerce una put out after an emergency meeting where una all will continue for they in touch with you in case una get new decision them una take. Many thanks for joining at the program this morning, Doc.
Very much.
All right. We'll continue with the program, the Breakfast Show, where they come to you live. We still look inside the leadership struggle where they at the University of Sierra Leone now, as they get different people where they give them various position there. Members say as they join we share the program so that more people go be part of the conversation this morning. Or they bring you in Sheku Putka Kamara, and also you be part of this struggle because you're not a lecturer from Frabe College, but you know go talk as a lecturer from Frabe College, but somebody we normally can comment on trending issues them, especially issues them of this nature. You don't listen to various speaker them. JT don't give them position as a University of Sierra Leone. We don't watch a clip inside the Education Committee in a Parliament. Then don't already take their own position, say the ministry get right. In all of this, what do you think is the way forward now for resolve the issue so that this standoff within at the University of Sierra Leone not go affect the education business?
If you ask me, this should be something easy to follow. Many a time I get an argument for say sometimes we have a leadership problem in the country, and like how Dr. Smallwhite they say we get a Universities Act of 2021. We our Parliament debates this as well, supposedly. My thinking is that they should be, in a position to understand that which they are debated. I read the act myself in sections 8 and 9. The policy is saying the seats in DVC between IFAM, Commerce and Frabe College will be appointed as pro-vice chancellor, and by extension, the person will be acting vice chancellor and principal. That is what the act says. I was really wondering why we have a letter from the ministry appointing an acting vice chancellor and principal where the acts don't say otherwise. So I am not sure we should continue with this argument. Let us go by what the policy says. That should be my position.
All right, just quickly, we'll come back to you. Quickly, let me just take a short break, then we'll come back to you and continue the discussion.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange. This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
All right, welcome back. It's still Iwaji Liberty Breakfast Show, and we continue to look at the issue of the struggle of leadership at the University of Sierra Leone. And as you be talk before we take that short break, the Sheko, now we see clearly from Parliament side, there is already a position where they don't take. And ideally, if you look at them, if then kind of struggle here they happen, then when they make the laws, them the public they expect a worst case scenario. Perhaps they might call the two parties and explain and interpret to them waiting inside that law where then at the Parliament don't make. Is it okay for that position where the Parliament don't make and miss this kind of struggle where they go on?
I am not sure it is okay. In fact, the act is clear. USL is a semi-autonomous body. Women say it will be independent enough for take decisions on your own. And like we all know, the courts are the highest decision-making body with the chancellor as chairman. And the courts not just constitute members of the university, you also get members of the ministry. And my thinking is that you also get a parliamentary committee where for the do follow-ups as oversights, right, with the University of Sierra Leone. So if you get a document to the effect where they suggest that this is not the way for go, my thinking is that we're able to implement, and our parliaments they make laws. If it is either for Bay College, IPA performance, DVC, one for them, for B, the acting vice chancellor principal. And if it's rotational, and likely we don't see for Bay College exercise and now na commerce system, I just think so for go by that way. And Professor Mohamed Sama has been there for ages. I mean, arguably, I think he's the most senior DVC if you compare with the two others we recently did for Bay College and IPAM. So I'm thinking, let's go by the last.
So waiting sim for the play from the ministry. If all of this still happen, waiting sim for the play.
My thinking is there's a leadership problem, and again, a little or no strategic communication. Because if you have a Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, where ideally get a responsibility for supervising running of the university, first things first, why would we have a letter where my thinking is that it was not even in consultation with the university? So when you make that kind of decision, it's like imposing someone. And we all know Professor Lawrence Kamara is a respected academic. He was DVC of Bay College.
So you think the ministry will overstep their powers for muzzle the university?
In this case, I am no longer thinking. I think they have done that because the appointment is out. Even university announced them now after we can get now this decision of the court. So there was a need for engagement, and I think that engagement was not proper.
All right, let's bring you in, JT. As we speak now, when I get two acting vice chancellor and principal then at the university, the one where UNA at the university recognize, and the one where the Ministry of Higher Education appoint. So how are they run?
Now one will get, we not get two, and that's the one recognized by courts. Now they perform the day-to-day functions, now they sign checks, now they the signatory to the account, now they approve documents, now they do everything.
So what in Professor Lawrence Kamara they do now?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
What's that office day? You get any idea?
The office of the Vice Chancellor and Principal is in Atawa Hill, outside the University Registry there. But then Mohamed Samai, no need for candy for doing work. Professor Mohamed Samai.
So now Professor Lawrence occupy the office.
I think so. Now he occupy the office. I don't know the details. But Professor Mohamed Samai, no need for come at that office day for performing function, and all corresponding. In fact, the university courts don't authorize the registrar for rights to every DVC, every department, every faculty, every director for take instructions from the Vice Chancellor approved by court, and that is Professor Mohamed Samai.
So who are the ministry they will quit? Recognized, approved by the court. The other side they operate.
They don't need for come yonder.
But the office been created for the position where it hold, where una recognize.
Yes, but this is the thing. The law says for be pro vice chancellor, and when the need arise for be acting vice chancellor. Now it's sitting DVC here. All the DVC they get their offices. So it's a question of sending correspondence to them and
so aside
the university they run smoothly.
Aside receiving correspondence, signing documents or checks, whose other facility where Dr. Mohamed Samai they enjoy?
Well, every function of the university it will be presided over by the acting
acting vice chancellor and principal, we are the pro vice chancellor, we are the deputy vice chancellor of commerce. Every functions of the university, nine at the head, nine the supervise. So he runs the day-to-day administration of the University of Sierra Leone.
While Professor Lawrence have the run in your day-to-day.
Well, I can't speak on that because I don't know what they run. There is, as far as I know, we recognize just one person.
Because I just want to ask quickly, if when I reach a situation where Professor Lawrence send documents or something to the university.
No, they're not the honorable because the court don't instruct the registry. Say no. The position is not recognized. So if it's not recognized and send correspondence to the registry, it will not be honored.
So JT, whose message as somebody when an expert, a communication expert, whose message you think say this total disagreement within now at the university, they send out to the public, we hold on at a very high esteem, where it can transfer knowledge to Sierra Leonean.
It's a shame. It's an embarrassment. We can't shy away from that, and we should not have reached this position. But what they say is, now the ministry imposed this situation on the university. Like a colleague say, the university is a semi-autonomous body guided by laws. What's in the court they do basically now for implement the laws. The position of the Parliamentary Committee on Education is not supported by law.
It's right for be politically correct, if I can say. This person where they now at the Ministry of Tertiary Education as the minister, where do this appointment. Now somebody from the university will make viewers they wouldn't follow this discussion this morning go and say he ought to know better in terms of the law, in terms of upholding the rule of law, where according to una they try for protect. As somebody will come out from the university and get this political appointment, una feel disappointed at this particular decision?
Personally, I feel disappointed. I feel disappointed because I feel say the law no ambiguous in any way. And I make at the start of this conversation, I say this is the matter of a rule of law versus sentiment. If you critically look at all the positions and the arguments of the ministry, they are underpinned by sentiment. There is no legal legs to stand on. All the arguments are clear-legged and they are driven by sentiment. So for law, we put law aside and allow sentiments for take way to this route. It's clearly disappointing, but I think they were ill-advised. And I don't feel say that they expect this kind of resistance from the courts. But this court, I'm saying this, regardless of the outcome, I'm proud of this court. I'm proud of the members of the court for this decision. Regardless of the outcome, personally, I feel gratified that I'm part of this process and I stand by law, and history will judge me tomorrow. So regardless of the fact that today we undergo this mess, I'm consoled by two things: the personal position, but also, more importantly, the position of the court.
All right, Mr. Levy, we'll come back to us shortly. Let me just listen to what the viewers and don't interrupt the conversation starts this morning, 8 o'clock, and now 9:20 from the studio clock. Let me just get the views of people. The first one I go look at the Facebook page for the Mustafa Toure regarding the policy where the university introduced. It said JTL knows back in the days when a student achieves a 6 in English, that student can express him or herself eloquently in English. Today everyone is getting 1 or 2 in English, but they can't write a sentence without errors. So how do you expect a student to pass when they don't have any control of the grammar? That is the tool for expression.
All right, Aisha Mansai, they say, what about, I think this gets for do with the policy discussion we'll start the program with. They say, what about situations wherein over 60% students fail a module? What will it be on the student or the lecturer in charge?
Papi Sinjalan on the Facebook page, it says, see what Mr. James is saying about the students. They are not mature and ready at all.
This other hand, they say, why won't the university set a policy wherein assessments will be made on lectures delivery? If quality standards are to be set, then the policy should be a two-way street.
Sandy Rogers on Facebook, he said, whatever is happening here is all about protecting personal interests.
All right. Few more message, then we will come to we studio guest for respond. This one they say very interesting topic here, but the younger generation are only interested in APC or SLPP fighting. Well, from their messages the day when they come back now studio quickly, as we'll still get JT Leby from the University of Sierra Leone and also Sheku Putka Kamara, when a social commentator and a lecturer. I think most of the messages then come for you, JT.
Yes, somebody say whatever they have on now, protection of personal interest. And I agree. But me, capture under sentiment. I use sentiments as the umbrella word. Now, when you talk to people one-on-one within the university community, all they will express to you are sentiments. Hey, like, you don't want to do a point, so not like this person, or this person will not offend me. All are sentiments. As a court, they approach this situation from the position of the law. You don't have to like Professor Mohamed Samai, or you don't have to hate Professor Lawrence Kamara.
So the sentiments, they come from the ministry?
All the one way is we believe, all the one way is support the ministry position and sentiment is not underpinned by law. And then they refuse for belief, say we don't move away from the 2005 Act to the 2021 Act, where the power now for appoint is no longer with the president, but it's now where the ministry being exercised, but it's now with the court headed by the chairman, when are the chancellor, and when are the president self-appoints. So we are on the part of the law, very clear. Very, very clear. Somebody talk about lecturers' assessment. I agree.
From Lamin. Lamin is saying at the YouTube page, they say, good morning, Mabel and Khadija. Can Mr. Leby elaborate on the issue between the minister and the USL court?
The issue now, the courts, they resist an illegal appointment of somebody not eligible. That's it. The courts, they say, you don't have the power to do what you do. You don't have the power to appoint outside of the law. So the court is resisting bully, it resists intimidation, it resists a violation of the law.
So that they bully that
the ministry. They bully they want do it, but we are not intimidated. The university court is not intimidated and will not succumb. That's the position of the court.
All right.
Yeah. Somebody talk about assessment of lecturers. I think as I personally subscribe to that. That's the way to go, and that these are as much as we assess students them on a semester basis, I also believe them for assess lecturers. I personally subscribe to that, and there was a time when it was introduced, but it was discontinued, and this conversation will go on, and we'll go find a way for introduce them back. This tied to the other one, you talk about mass failure. I also personally believe that where there is a mass failure, the lecturer back for share some blame. I personally believe that. But I tell you today, the number of students that they go to university are not prepared for university rigor. That's the point. They go there, then secondly, they become distracted. And like somebody say, they may go express themselves. And English now are the tool. How then they get them results, we don't know. And we don't question them how they get it. We take them on the basis of the face value of the results they apply with. Then when they go, then they will measure up. And society also, they criticize, we say, with products they're not fit for purpose. And when we take the position for rights, for inject quality into the system, we are also criticized. Now I say we do, we are damned. We don't, we are damned.
I'll bring you in Sheku. Although JTC stand up normally at the University of Sierra Leone, then they operate normally as how they operate. But it's evident, it's clear, say chaos day in all of this. How chaos no dey. Now the impression that way
create. The university is running. We recognize our pro vice chancellor, who by extension is the acting vice chancellor.
Acting vice chancellor.
Come again?
The university they run with two.
Now one. Now the one where the court recognize.
So maybe Khadija's concern is the fact that we have Professor Lawrence going to IBAM,
yes,
and you have Dr. Samai at Commerce.
Well, we they deal with one, so and we business they go on.
The comment to Abua ask how a university go on in this kind of environment.
It's not ideal, no matter how we look at them. Parliament and the Committee on Education and the Ministry get a responsibility for come at the board, meet the university and get a resolution. Consequently, we know they are at a position we want for quite welcome. So I think there's a need for more engagement for them to settle this. Yeah.
Alright, so Dr.
Mr. Levy. Yeah, dialogue is the way forward, but at the moment, we don't rest at itself. Parliament call the two parties, but we don't see Parliament as a neutral body in this. They already don't take a position, and the position are for coerce the university court for violate their own law, and so we reject them. And the court make and clear to them yesterday again for not to put your foot down. We're on the side of the law. What they can do is let them go back and review the law. As it is, the court is constrained to implement what they want, because not to the law say. Let them go back and change the law, and the court will be obliged to implement what they want.
Court they talk about it comprise of representative from the ministry.
Of course, they get representative. So now make me argument is, why don't previous people the previous DVCs them in the exercise that responsibility for the pro vice chancellor under this arrangement where they criticize now? Why didn't you raise the red flag and say this is not fair or this is not done? Why now we come to Professor Mohamed Samai when they criticize? So that because they sit in court, they attend court meetings.
I ask the question generally, how the relationship between the minister and Professor Samai?
I can't go personal. I can't say.
Working wise.
Well, the fact that a donor office courts approve them, then still go appoint somebody else in and they recognize, speaks volume. I think that is as far as I can go.
Maybe I'll be asked the question to Dr. Small earlier, will be the interview and say then position as Asa Commerce, if not to like commerce supporting their own. And in all of this, when from IPAM it. IPAM not make a decision it. Well, so now all man they support your own person in this case.
When you read the Secretary General for ASA, Commerce then say this is not about an individual and they should have taken the same position if this being for done touch and concern the head of IPAM.
Professor.
No, it IPAM by location of the office of the Vice Chancellor. Yeah. The head of IPAM day. Now, Associate Professor Miriam Consent Morgan. Now, the office, not your in office, now the office of the Vice Chancellor. And
okay,
principal. The
office of the Vice Chancellor, when are in the occupy, we right Dr. Mohamed Samai not the occupy.
Yeah, because Mohamed Samai, Professor Mohamed Samai, get your office now in England. So, you no need for camp, and this now just. Don't understand it.
So, Jetty, for argument's
sake, this is a tentative arrangement.
So, for argument's sake, let's say Professor Lawrence in-house now IPAM and all of this.
Well, not to IPAM, now University Secretariat, Natawahil, we are the same side with IPAM actually.
So nobody knows it from IPAM. Is it safe for say IPAM they are the side of Professor Lawrence?
No, it's not safe. It's not safe. Until they make their own position clear, we can't speak for them. They're not safe. Until MBC make them position clear, they're not safe. These commerce now they come out and make them position clear. So that we know. For the others, we don't know. We don't know whether they will come out or they not will come out, and we can't speak for them.
Very interesting conversation we get for do with this particular leadership struggle we don't discuss this morning. But now we end there. We'll go continue this discussion on it. Now we one-on-one program. Also we'll sit down one-on-one with JT Leby and delve proper inside this particular issue. But for the breakfast show, we will tap an eye and also don't forget to say senior producer Abdullah Bladio in Italy put together a report, make several attempts for get the side of the Ministry of Tertiary and Higher Education, but unfortunately they not be make themselves available for Lewi read side. We will continue for look at this issue as it unfold. Yesterday Parliament been called both parties, but the city not be able for hold. We will continue for monitor for see the involvement and how Parliament will coincide for interpret the law and resolve this particular issue. Mina Khadija Bangura they say have a good day.
And Mabel Kavadi say get yourself a wonderful day and many thanks. So now we don't watch and follow, and also we guess them will be dinner at the studio this morning. Until then, goodbye.